The Murdaugh double murder trial enters its fourth week with a denied request for a mistrial. On Friday, Murdaugh's attorneys objected to the prosecutor's questioning in court, calling it hearsay at one point. And we also heard testimony from Murdaugh's other housekeeper, who says that she never saw the clothes that Alex wore the day of the murders ever again.
And on June 8th of 2021, in the morning hours when you came back over there, was that shirt there?
No, sir.
Were these shoes that you called house slippers, were those there?
No, sir.
Did you ever see those house shoes again?
No, sir.
To break down what is happening in this trial, let's bring in former CIA officer and FBI special agent Tracy Walder. Tracy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
Tracy, in your mind, in this past week of the trial, what were some of the most impactful moments?
Well, so I think the interesting thing was, in listening to the housekeeper's testimony, there were a few things that really stood out to me. First was actually the absence of the clothing. She really went through and had quite a detailed list. She seemed to know really most of the clothing that the Murdaugh household had in it. And the fact that she never saw these articles of clothing again are actually interesting, and the fact that they're missing, they're not there. So I thought that piece was interesting. The other piece that I thought was interesting was Maggie Murdaugh. She said that she went to clean Maddie Murdaugh's car after it was released from impound, and she found her wedding ring under the seat. And I thought that was also interesting as well. And I would be interested to know if that came up with the coroner's inventory of her items. The final thing that I found interesting was really the Murdaugh family being moved sort of towards the back of the court audience, of the courtroom, because they were really just making too much of a scene. And so I found that all to be quite interesting this week.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The prosecution trying to show Alex Murdaugh, trying to change the narrative perhaps after the murders. How do you think that they did that?
You know, I thought that the prosecutors, it was interesting. At first, I felt that the defense was doing a really good job sort of poking holes into evidence collection that SLED was doing. But really, the prosecution has done, I think, an excellent job of proving something that I think a lot of us questioned was motive. Why this time? Why this week? Why this day? And really, by putting the former CFO, or the current CFO, excuse me, of the bank on the stand, talking about how that day she confronted Murdaugh about the money that was missing. I think that really was probably a huge trigger for him, and really puts this all into perspective. Also, I think he had a hearing that week for Paul's upcoming boat trial as well. And so it really sort of put the pieces of this together.
Okay, and I appreciate that, with your investigators hat on, sort of tracing and seeing what potential triggers actually might be there. Now, the defense asked for a mistrial. Can you walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. They were basically asking for the mistrial because they felt that everything was hearsay, because Maggie really wasn't here, to tell her story. And so I thought that was interesting. Look, I think it was obviously kind of a grab. I don't think the defense really thought that they were going to get that, but I think from a procedural standpoint, they had to ask for it. But it never happened, and I didn't expect it to.
And Tracy, if you were grading the prosecution on how they're laying this case out right now, what grade would you give them?
Oh, gosh, that's a good question. Some days I think they've got, in the A level, but then other days I think they're kind of more in the C+ level.
Interesting. So in what way could they do better? I mean, tell me about the C+ days.
What I think that they're not doing the best job, and quite frankly, is really this evidence issue. SLED didn't do the best job in terms of collecting evidence. And we saw that in what came out, especially with the housekeeper. Why in the world was she allowed in less than 12 hours of this crime being committed to clean the home? I've never heard of anything like that happening before. And I found that to be fascinating. And I think the prosecution really needs to hit that a lot harder in terms of what was done through the investigation and the investigative process, and how a lot of things slip through the cracks, because that's going to put doubt in the jury's mind.
In what way does it compromise this case, the housekeeper being allowed in within 12 hours?
And it's certainly not her fault. I never would want anyone to think that. But her being allowed in, that crime scene needed to have been secured for probably at least 48 hours, in my opinion. Any evidence could have been washed away, compromised, cleaned, because she was simply doing her job. And you need to preserve evidence. And that evidence was basically being sort of washed down the drain, if you will, by anything that she was cleaning up.
All right, Tracy Walder, always appreciate the context and insight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.